Is Douglas Luiz the most on-form midfielder in the Premier League? I would say so. We are seeing an elite level of all-round midfield play by Douglas Luiz this season, which has seen Aston Villa shot up to 4th in the league. And with his brilliant performances, he has attracted interest from some of Europeans' top teams right now. But tactically, why has he been so good this season, and why would he be a brilliant asset for any team he joins? If you want to find out the answers to these questions, please like and subscribe and watch the rest of my channel for more football content. It's safe to say Douglas Luiz had a steady growth to the top of football. He had a lot of potential when he was young and was signed by Man City at such a young age, being loaned out to Genoa at the time. But despite never playing a Premier League game for Manchester City, Aston Villa decided to spend 15 million on Douglas Luiz at just the age of 21. And with Aston Villa's recent success under Unai Emery, Douglas Luiz has really turned into a brilliant player, being brilliant last season, winning both Player of the Season for Aston Villa and Supporters Player of the Season, and this season he's taken it to another level. Admittedly, at Aston Villa, Douglas Luiz has always been pretty impressive, but Aston Villa as a side haven't been necessarily very good, so it's hard to see his impact on the team. Overall, Douglas Luiz is known for his technical quality, his defensive ability, his athleticism, and his attacking awareness. First of all, Douglas Luiz is an impressive long passer and very accurate with the ball. He has completed 68% of his long passes this season to the intended target, having over 50 successful long passes, which only a couple of players actually have more than him this season. Now, this has been a brilliant attribute for Unai Emery's side for different reasons this season. For once, they have Ollie Watkins and Moussa Diaby running in behind the defenders, even on a counter-attack or just in normal play. This is how they try and create chances. This helps Ollie Watkins because he is more of a pressing forward and likes to run in that last defender, having one-on-ones or good tight angles to score from. This also helps it be a very quick movement. If Douglas Luiz has a bit of space and time, he can pick out a long ball, getting Aston Villa up the pitch quickly in a counter-attack. And most of his long passes are actually quite progressive, and a lot of them don't pay off because they are such a long distance, but when they do, it's a very good chance for Aston Villa to get in behind. For someone that is not your main creative midfielder, this is very good for him to help the attack and to impact the attacking side of the team while sitting next to an attacking midfielder who would do most of it. Something that someone like Granit Xhaka was very good at doing for Arsenal last season. He is very good at long passing as well in a dead ball situation, which can help some teams get up the pitch and score a goal if they need to. As we saw in the recent game against Tottenham, Douglas Luiz's deliveries from corners and free kicks was absolutely brilliant, and he should have got an assist in the first half with Pau Torres and then did later in the first half anyway with a massively brilliant cross straight to his head. Now, this free kick is no way near the goal, so it's such a long distance away, not really being an attacking chance, but he makes it with a brilliant delivery, and he's proven that he can do this on a number of occasions already this season, adding attacking elements to his already very good defensive game. Something that has been apparent with Douglas Luiz throughout his career, that he gets better when he has a proper partnership with the person next to him and can understand what the movements and the player that he's next to. Having someone he consistently plays with at a top quality level definitely makes him a better player, and we've seen that with Aston Villa this season as he has an amazing partnership with Boubacar Kamara in that centre of midfield. With Boubacar Kamara doing a bit more of the defensive work and doing a lot more passes in that midfield, it actually gives more touches to Douglas Luiz and more time on the ball. With Douglas Luiz having a greater number of successful passes into the opposition half with 29.4 per 90 this season, and into the final third with 14.38 per 90 as well. Douglas Luiz is exceptionally comfortable in possession and smoothly keeps the side ticking over. And overall, Aston Villa's midfield is a very effective midfield, which definitely makes him a lot better. Douglas Luiz is not a physically imposing midfielder, but he is quick across the turf and smart with positioning. Working alongside Kamara and John McGinn, who's a bit further forward, in an industrious midfield, Douglas Luiz have natural ball winning qualities and has often had exceptional performances this season. For example, when Aston Villa played Crystal Palace earlier in the season, Douglas Luiz made 6 tackles, 4 of which were successful, plus 1 interception and an astonishing 16 ball recoveries. Looking at the positions as well where he did these tackles and interceptions, you can see how mobile he is and how much he moves around in a fluid midfield, not really set into a set position. And although this could be bad for some players, Douglas Luiz is very tactically adept and knows where he needs to be most of the time, and he's very smart with his positioning and whereabouts he needs to stand. And he often needs to do this to a sense because he's not really a physical player, so if someone does get in a position that's past him, he's not going to be able to really recover unless he's already standing in the right position. And this is a good way to describe his positions anyway, because Douglas Luiz is neither a fixed defensive midfielder nor is he at A. He's a complete central midfielder who offers a goal threat as well as a defensive ability. We've already gone through how excellent he is at set pieces from free kicks, but also from corners, as he likes to get them short and then play them on the outside to someone in Aston Villa. This has often been very effective for Aston Villa in over the years he's been there. They used to do this with Grealish, and now they do it with John McGinn just outside the box because he has a brilliant ability just to pick out the players. For example, his excellent set piece assist for John McGinn against Luton was the 7th successive home game that he had produced a direct goal involvement, which is crazy. I know he does take penalties as well, which actually broke Dwight York's record of a goal and assist in 6 straight home encounters, and he is a midfielder. midfielder. He is unafraid to push on and support his strikers as well. Both of Douglas Luiz's non-penalty goals this season have come when he has run onto the ball with a strike from a shot outside the box. He was also incredibly unlucky not to score another long-range goal with his gorgeous curler was saved by Areola against West Ham. But this shows he's also a threat from distance, and he always has been throughout his career. Even though his goal scoring levels haven't been brilliant, he has always scored brilliant goals from just outside the box. I remember the first season for Aston Villa, he scored a brilliant one as well. And this season he's produced the most shots from distance from any orthodox Premier League centre midfielders, having attempted 12 strikes so far. This and a combination of his brilliant attack and movement have seen him get the non-expected goals of 0.2 a game, which in centre midfielders is actually 91% in the whole of Europe. He's also operating at a 0.17 assists per game as well, which is insane for a centre midfielder. And this is expected outside of his penalties that he obviously is very good at taking as well. And although there's been very many good players for Aston Villa this season, with Ollie Watkins scoring so many goals and a lot of players doing a lot of great work, Douglas Luiz for me is the heart of the team. And without him, Villa would not be in contention for Champions League football this year. As you look at his passing networks, he often passes it to every player around him quite often last season, and this season it's been the same. Some players will not go for certain passes, but he will always try to make sure everyone in the team is getting the pass if they're open. He is also brilliant at pushing the team forward at any given opportunity. In the Aston Villa team, he's often the player that has the most carries per game and often is the person that does the most passes and touches. So with him having such a big impact on such a high performing team, you can understand why so many top managers want him. Now there's been rumours about many teams wanting him, but the big two are Arsenal and Liverpool, with Mikel Arteta wanting Douglas Luiz for a few years now. And for a while a lot of people didn't really understand it, but now with his brilliant performances this season, it seems like he's going to cost a lot more money with the new deal we signed with Villa last year, and Arteta probably won't be able to get him in, but he will try. I think for Arsenal, Douglas Luiz is a brilliant Granit Xhaka replacement. Arsenal have been really struggling with that left centre mid role for the last season, and even though they are top of the league as the time of writing, they are still struggling with creating chances and getting the progression to Martinelli and Saka on the wings. Douglas Luiz poses the brilliant passing ability that Granit Xhaka had to get his team in behind, while also being able to do the defensive work to help Rice if he needs to, because he's not a traditional attacking player but can do both sides of the game perfectly well, and overall he's pretty all-round as one of the all-round midfielders in the league right now. He can also stay back sometimes as the same possession, which makes Rice go upfield and be a bit more freer when Arsenal have a lot of the ball with Zinchenko sitting there with him. As for Liverpool, he'd be brilliant alongside Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, but he still would need some help. I don't know if he could do all the defensive work as a defensive midfielder himself, and would probably need someone there to help him still, maybe like an Endo, because Liverpool have a lot more issues in the midfield with maybe the defensive work more than the progression they have from Szoboszlai coming to come back and help. But maybe he would not need to come back as much if Douglas Luiz is doing that with him. Transfermarkt rating Douglas Luiz's price at 55 mil. I think he's going to cost a lot of money to get rid of. He's on quite a long deal now with Villa, and Villa are a very good side looking for Europe. So if any of these teams are going to get him in January, it's going to cost a lot of money, but I do think he's worth it and see why they're getting him. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know what other players you want me to look at. Thank you for watching.